Fueled by Deathcast.
Did you have any bands in high school that you played in?
I had a
Because I love high school band names.
okay. I did actually. I was a freshman, and these guys were seniors. But,
Oh,
you know, so,
always looking for the drummer. I get it.
yeah, they saw that first talent show that I did, and were like, well, we want that. So they kicked out their drummer that was a senior, and he was so mad. I'll never forget it. And like, so I'm like walking in the hallways, like, you know, hey, dude, you know, and he's just like giving me the look, like, you know, I hate you. And like, we ended up being good friends, but. And then I got kind of popular because I was hanging out with the cool seniors that played football, and you know they had a band, and they were coming to my house to rehearse. But that band name was called Maximum 50.
Maximum 50.
Yeah,
How come?
we were basically a Creed cover band. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, my singer he wore the wife beater.
Oh,
You
wow.
know, like, yeah, and we literally played Creed and Godsmack. And I'll never forget it. We did a after school event, and we played Keep Away by Godsmack, and the principal's just going, looking at us, and we're going, doom, doom, da, doom, doom, da. Yeah, boy. You know, and it wasn't. He was not pleased.
It's that hard rock.
So Justin Murphy, if you're watching, I'm telling the stories about your band.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
That's what I love it, because we all had those high school bands, you know, like,
Yeah, that
because
was-
you got to start somewhere.
That was the one.
But I love that moment in time, because like, especially when you're like, you know, a freshman to senior, if you are in a band, no matter what band it is, no matter how good or bad you're a rock star. You are the
Oh,
It is
yeah.
the be all end all. It's like, this band's gonna make it. We're gonna do everything with this band. Like, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I love those moments.
Yeah, there's a couple YouTube videos of that band out there somewhere. It's hilarious.
Oh.
I'm like this short little fat kid, and I got drums that are way taller than me. 'Cause, you know, I still played my dad's drum kit, and it was, you know, from the early '80s, so the drums were this big.
Yeah,
and everything
yeah.
was super high. And that's how I learned how to play, so I just never changed the setup.
Well, I started playing when I was 15. I got the bass because I had some friends who had a band, and my buddy Matt was like, "You should play bass." And then I was like, "Yeah, okay, we can do that."
Okay, so
we can do that.
15 years old.
15
I
years old.
I love
Yep.
young band names. What was the name of the band?
It didn't even have a name.
You know, great.
It didn't
was
even
that
have.
good.
It didn't even have a name. It was just terrible. You know, and we were playing like, trying to think what kind of songs we were playing. Like it was probably like, you know, whatever we could, because we were all real bad. So it's like, and we're just destroying whatever that was. So it's, you know, so it's probably like "Paranoid" by Black Sabbath, I think, is one of the first songs I learned. Fun fact: the first song I ever learned how to play on the bass was "Twist of Cain" by Danzig.
Whoa.
And I thought I was a badass.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like,
I
yeah.
mean, it's a badass song.
I was like, there's notes in this song. Yeah. I'm not just playing an open string. Look at me go.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you started.
stuff like
you
that.
started playing because your friends needed a bassist. So you started playing there.
Yeah.
Where does it click in your brain? Oh, I want to start actually pursuing this.
As soon as I picked it up.
Really?
Yeah. Pretty much as soon as I picked it up, I started playing. I always wanted to play music. I've sang and loved music since I was since I could.
Yeah.
So, you know, when I finally got that first bass, and there was like a lot of, there was a lot of like negotiating to get to that point. 'Cause it's like, Mom, you know, I was, I didn't really like school. It wasn't like super for me. I mean, I did well when I went, but I just didn't want to go because it was like early.
It's a hassle.
It was early, and then like they wanted me to do all kinds of stuff when I was home, like homework and stuff. And I was like, I don't want to do that. Like I go to school and I do well on my tests, and I pay attention and participate in class. Don't take up my like I'm not coming to your house telling you what to do when you're
That's true.
when you're not here. Leave me alone. But yeah, I was like, Mom, you know, you get me a bass and I'll go to school and, you know, I'll pay attention, you know, I'll do my homework, I'll do whatever. Just get me a bass. And she was like, okay, I'll get you a bass. And I got that bass, and I did not hold up my end of the bargain.
Oh.
It just went downhill because it was from the time I got it, it was like, that was it. Just something immediately clicked, and I played it for like 5 to 8 hours a day, every single day. And I didn't have a case for it. I was like really poor, so I didn't have like a case or an amp. So you'd learn like little tricks. Like if I take like the headstock of the bass and like put the headstock of the bass against the wall when you play, the acoustics will transfer into like the drywall or into like if you're sitting next to a table, the acoustics will transfer into the table and it'll actually amplify it a little bit and make it a little bit louder. So I'd do that to practice and stuff. And then like I'd go hang out at the mall. I didn't like really have any money to do anything at the mall, but you're a teenager. So that's what you do. You
gotta go there.
You go hang out there.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd take my bass with me to the mall, and I would like have the bass strapped on me. And of course I didn't have a car. So it's just me walking to the mall, walking down the street, playing my bass like I'm sure looking like an idiot, but I guess it worked out.
Yeah,
I guess
it definitely
ended up being worth it.
So right from that point, then you're thinking in your head, I'm going to do this as
this is what
my career.
this is what I want to do. Yeah, I mean, I always wanted to be. I knew I wanted to be a musician, and that it was just something I always wanted to do. It's like anytime you go to, when you find yourself in certain situations in life, you're like, this is you kind of have a moment where you're like, okay, this is something that I would love to do. And my mom would take me to concerts a lot when I was a kid, and I was always like, I want this. This is what I want.
What was that moment that was like, I want to start playing this instrument?
Well, my dad was a drummer.
Okay.
So there was always a drum set in the house.
Easy then.
And age 5, I was picking up drumsticks and just kind of banging on the drums, and that was it. Of course, I wasn't good. And, this went on for years and years, and I ended up doing sports and all that stuff, and then I eventually got tired of doing that. And then I was around age 10, and Dad had a band every Friday, and they would play after work, and I'd just run off the school bus and run in the house, like, you guys playing tonight? And he'd be like, yeah. And I'd sit down in that basement until I'd just fall asleep just watching this band play. And it's like, this is so cool. And I remember it was really strange. I told this story a few times, and people were like, that's not true. There's no way, but it actually happened. And I fell asleep, and I had a dream that I was playing an Aerosmith song called Lord of the Thighs.
Okay.
I was literally playing the song with the band, my dad's band. I woke up, I went downstairs 6 o'clock in the morning and started playing the intro to that song from memory of how I saw myself playing this song. Perfectly.
Yep.
And my mom comes flying down the stairs, and she thought I was playing the CD because the song starts like boom, da, 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 boom, da. She thought I was just playing the song. And she's like, "Did you just play that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she called my dad up at work. She's like, "He's playing drums." So that day he comes home from work, and he's like, "Let me hear this." So I went down there and played it, and he was like, "Whoa." And I ended up entering a school talent show shortly after that, and he made me learn an Allman Brothers song. Ironically, that come full circle.
Crazy.
So my first performance in front of a crowd was in memory of Elizabeth Reed by the Allman Brothers. It was an instrumental, and I played just the drums to that to my school. Wow. Got a standing ovation. The school band directors are like, we want you, and all this stuff. And I was reluctant. I was like, I really don't want to do marching band or any of that stuff. And then my dad encouraged me. My mom encouraged me. Like, you should give it a shot. So I ended up doing it. So I don't want to wear those goofy outfits and march across the field. That's not cool, But in order to do jazz band, which was drum set, you had to do marching band.
Oh, that's
so I was like, well, okay. To do that, I'll do that. I ended up digging it. I learned a lot from it. Learned a whole lot from jazz band. Won the top drumming award 3 or 4 years in a row for that. I ended up graduating, getting the Louis Armstrong award.
Whoa.
And there's 17 pro musicians that have gotten it. John Mayer is one of them.
Yeah.
So I got that, and that just kind of set me in my path. And then, of course, Oxford University wanted me to be in their jazz band, and I was like, now I want to be a rock star.
Yes.
So I didn't go to college, and then my dad's like, well, you can either do college or you can do music. So I was like, I'm doing music.